Hello. It's been a while since I've done my last driving video, and I told you I would have some news, some surprises. And what I meant by that, you probably already know. I mean, some of you who follow only YouTube, maybe not yet, maybe you haven't realized yet, because I have been only publishing on Instagram, Facebook, and some things on Twitter. So I mean, you should check out my networks there. The name is the same. I think the links are somewhere on my YouTube page too. I have to see that. But it's not difficult to find Admira Livre podcast. If you Google it, it's like it appears on the list if you Google the first word. So, I have been 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks in Russia, 2 weeks in Donbas alone. It was a very intensive trip. You know, I was in Donbas last year, just a few days in Donetsk. The rest of the time I was traveling Moscow and Rostov and Volgograd and sightseeing, because there were also other aspects of Russian life that I wanted to know about. But this time I decided to dedicate the weight of the trip, the bulk of the trip, to Donbas, to the war zones. There's a lot of questions I wanted to have answered, and I am not satisfied with just, even the media I trust, I'm not satisfied only with those accounts. So I went there, I've been on the road, I left Moscow by car, driving, and I drove till Mariupol. I've passed Lugansk, I've crossed Lugansk Republic, I've crossed Donetsk Republic. I reached Mariupol. I stayed in Mariupol. I came back to Donetsk, stayed in Donetsk, visited the front lines around Donetsk direction, visited the front lines in the Lugansk direction. I've been in Lysychansk. You remember Lysychansk? Was stage for fierce battles. All of that is there, very present. I visited Azovstal, by the way, in Mariupol. I've talked to a lot of people that live in these places. I've been to Avdiivka. I talked to people who remain there. I've talked to officials. I've talked to common people. I've talked to priests. I mean, you name it. It was very intensive work. I brought back 400 gigabytes of stuff, videos, pictures, a lot of interviews. I have interviewed, among other people, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Lugansk People's Republic. Of course, the Lugansk People's Republic is no more because it's part of Russia now, but the interviewee, which is Mr. Denyaga, it still has the same role for the region. So he agreed to talk to me, and we had a pleasant conversation for about 2.5 hours. And I'm sorry, it's going to take a while to publish it all, because I'm a one-man show. I have no team. I have no agenda. No one finances me. What you get from me is my perception and what I think is the truth. I can be wrong, of course, but it's not like I'm playing someone's agenda. It's not happening in this channel. So please follow, please share, because I went to great length to bring a lot of first-hand information from that place. I kind of took some risks to a lot of adventure. I must confess, I had some fun as well. Amidst all that war environment, thorned lives, people's lives, it was a unique experience. I wish I had more time, but I had to take vacation from my job to do that, so I didn't have more time than that. I hope you follow, and it's for free for you. All the money I invested on the trip, I took from my own salary. And if you ask me, it was worth it. Well worth it. I have great memories. I've learned a lot. I must say that I'm more immune to the bullshit from the West. When just today, turn on the TV, which I rarely do, but today happened because I wanted to know things about the BRICS summit. Not know things about the BRICS summit, but know the Western perspective, the covering of our news of it. And there was Zelensky's wife complaining that a Russian missile could reach Kharkov, peaceful buildings in Kharkov, in 30 seconds. And then she complained about a bunch of other shit, and I thought myself, just having returned from Donbas, talking to people whose lives are torn, and they have stories that you cannot even imagine. And I could apply all the words she used to victimize, by the way, to victimize the people, which is victim of their own government, that she, of course, supports. All those words she used for those victims could have been used for the people of Donbas, who were the first victims. The numbers are still the number can increase, but it is estimated that at least between 15 and 20,000 people, including women and children, died during the 8 years, from 2014 until 2022 alone. And it wasn't the Russian government. So yeah. And I've spoke to people. I wanted to know more, like, how does this happen in a region? We're talking about Ukraine, old Ukraine, and suddenly there's this coup in Maidan, but it's still far away from where these people live, right? In the Donbas region. And suddenly people start to feel changes. And I wanted to know when the point was reached for them to start to organize, until the point they declared their own countries, their own sovereign countries, the republics of Donetsk and Lugansk. How was the process? What happened? How did the people act? I mean, every detail you might think of, because I could not picture such a process going on where I live, for example. People organizing themselves against all odds to form their own country. So I had to go there and speak. So I spoke to officials, like I said, and I spoke to people who lived, because when it happened, part of these two regions were a long time under the Kiev regime's control. And they tell tales of unimaginable things, I mean. So yeah, so please, follow, stick to this channel. It will be worth it to you for free, and it will be always like that, for free. Why do I do this? People ask me a lot this in Donbas. When they come across me, they think, are you a journalist? Are you like doing your job coming here, like getting paid and everything? And no, I took vacation and took money from my salary and came here. And they were very surprised and very thankful. And because of that, I had people opening up to me very easily, and it's like they trusted me. So I want to live up to that. Okay, this is a short one. It's just to say this to you, to announce, kind of announcement. I will, of course, I'm just publishing pictures with comments of mine, stories of people I've met, places I've been. But the videos I have, they need to be processed, they need to be edited, because it's a bunch of videos I have on my phone. Like I said, 400 gigabytes. So you imagine the work. If I had a team, people taking care of this shit, it would be easier. Unfortunately, I do not. So you guys gotta have patience if you take interest in this, if you are interested. Anyway, I'm participating in other channels as well. So last Saturday I was in a live stream in a Portuguese channel. It's mostly in Portuguese language, called Verdade Factual. They're associated with geopolitics in Portuguese, and other channels from Brazil. They took interest in my stories, so they invited me to go live with them. And I'll still do my Portuguese talk shows. The next one will be next Monday with Professor Fernando Almeida, because the show must go on. Okay, guys, I hope very confidently, more confident than ever, that I'll see you on the next one.